Next is ordinance 673. It's a motion to draft an ordinance to create the inspection program, which was circulated. There were no comments received up until now. Committee recommended council authorize this ordinance for legal review and advertised for adoption.
Second.
You said to prepare an ordinance. Was that what your motion? Or how was it?
To advertise.
Advertise.
For legal review and advertise.
To advertise. I have a question about it.
Okay.
Is, I had looked I didn't know, you had asked me, well, sometime back, as you must know, we talked about it one time, 10, 15 years ago, they were gonna do something like this, and it became a big ordeal, big ordeal. But I was looking when it was brought into the last minutes that I looked at, the public safety meeting, it said that for the last meeting, the draft ordinance to create an inspection program was circulated, no comments were received, and I thought it was brought back that there's no comments on it, you guys didn't discuss it, in other words, at your last committee meeting.
Yeah, we did, but well, he circulated the petition, and we were going to discuss anything that came up, but basically everybody didn't have any recommendations.
So that's what it just said, no comments were received, the committee recommended.
Well, we had all the members of the committee had this ahead of time and had reviewed it.
We've done this like twice.
Yeah, we've done this a couple times, so we didn't have any additions or corrections to
That's
make
what I
to
was
this,
wondering,
okay? The only thing we felt was that, Ed needed to review it to make sure it was passed legal muster.
Well, going back on what had happened before when something like this was presented, I think you ought to, and I was reading it, like Bethlehem has an article, I actually brought it along when I read this over the weekend, but Bethlehem has a thing where they're sitting down with their landlords. They had put something like this in effect, and evidently it didn't work. I don't know what exactly the purpose of this is, this rental thing. I mean, what your goal is. I came to the one meeting when you asked me to come to shed a little light on that past history, but I really didn't get what the background, why this is coming about. I mean, you said that night that your neighbor, your daughter or something, whatever, their grass was real high, and that's one reason, up on Old Hurst. John, you said that night, and Joe said about his neighbor that Gallagher couldn't do nothing about the bed bugs. But I didn't know why it was being promoted, that's why.
It's being promoted because a lot of the properties are falling in disarray. And this way, at least when they're transferred with the new tenants come in, especially with some of the Section 8 housing, at least we can assure that they're being at least upkeep, not big holes in the porch and falling apart, and
Right.
the grass is being cut and trimmed, and trees and anything else you could think of. Because right now what's happening is a lot of them are not being done anything to it, they're not even being painted, and are taking people are having to take them, and then they're making them worse, and every time they get worse and worse and worse. Naturally, this isn't all of the things, it's a few of them. And it is something that needs to be addressed, because that's lowering my property values as sure as everybody else in this room.
But it was geared a lot to interior inspections.
Correct.
Yeah.
That's why, so
Not
that's
to
why.
mention, by knowing what the fire department or the police are walking into, by knowing that the property has been inspected and it's suitable.